Hi, take a look at this range top. We've got garlic and olive oil, garlic and melted butter, and minced garlic. You know, garlic is the foundation of a lot of great recipes all over the world that produce some of the best food in the world. And I think that some of the best food in the world comes from my mom's kitchen. My name is Joe Romano, and I'd like to welcome you to my Sicilian cooking adventure called Sicilian Air. You know, growing up in a Sicilian and Calabrese family, the kitchen was always the most important room in the house. My mom entertained there. We had people over every time in the kitchen. It was just a place where our lives were lived. In 1996, we put together a recipe book of my mom's favorite recipes, our Sicilian recipes and some of my father's Calabrese recipes, and this was what came out: The Extraordinary Cuisine of Josephine. That's my mom when she was in 8th grade. And tonight we're going to cook two recipes out of this book: a meat dish called bistecca mollica and a pasta dish called pasta with olive oil and garlic, or pasta con aglio e olio. And I'd like to get started right away and start doing some of this because we've got quite a bit of work to do here. The bistecca mollica is just a New York strip steak that we're going to dip in garlic and butter. Okay, so I've taken some garlic cloves, minced it up. This is about half the thickness of a normal New York strip steak. And what I like to do is I like to dip it in there just a couple times over the back and forth, get some of the garlic and the butter on it. We're going to dip it in some Italian breadcrumbs. These are just the Progresso Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, which you can just buy in the store. Grandma Calandra would have loved to buy these if she could have had them back in 1918. Once you get it coated, just put it on a piece of a tray or something, put it with some a little piece of wax paper, and we're going to set it in the refrigerator. I like to put it in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes before I cook it, just to kind of get the coating to stick a little bit better. Now you can either cook this underneath the broiler, or you can also cook it on a charcoal grill. It takes about 5 minutes aside is all you really need. You just want to make sure that you don't burn it. Now, we're going to make a really great sauce that goes with this too. And this sauce has got a garlic foundation to it. We're going to start out with a little bit of tomatoes. These are just some regular vine-ripened tomatoes. I like to use the vine-ripened tomatoes just because I think they're a little more flavorful than the Roma tomatoes. They have a little bit better distinct. You can use heirloom tomatoes, but I really prefer to use just the regular vine-ripe tomatoes. What I do is just quarter it. You're going to use, for 4 pieces of steak, roughly 1 tomato is going to be used on each steak. Okay, what I like to do is go ahead and seed it. I just quarter it like this, take a normal kitchen spoon, just put it inside like that, scrape all the seeds out, and then you're going to end up with just this really nice meaty portion of the tomato. And then I just make 3 cuts in it, 3 vertical cuts, and then 3 cuts to the side. So you end up with these nice chunks like this. They're very uniform, and it's going to look really beautiful on top of that brown meat. Now you need to start making the juice that goes over the top of this. It consists of some lemon juice. This is the juice of a couple of lemons. Going to use a little bit of parsley. Now with the parsley, I like to use this. This is just a regular domestic parsley. Some people really like to use the Italian flat blade parsley. Growing up in Southern Illinois, we didn't really have any flat blade parsley that we could get. My mom and dad didn't grow it in the garden, so we just used the regular domestic parsley like the kind you would get at Denny's, and I think it's fine. I've tried some of these recipes with the other one. I prefer just to use the regular domestic. Okay, we've got that. We've got a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of oregano. Now, when I use dried oregano or dried parsley, any type of dried spice, I like to rub it back and forth in my fingers, between my palm and my hand. It kind of just reactivates some of the spice flavor. If you have these sitting on your shelf dried, sometimes they dry out, they lose their potency, so kind of just crushing them up exposes more of the surface area of the actual leaf that's left to the liquid that you're putting it in, and you'll get a little better flavor out of it. So I just kind of drop it in there like that after crushing it. And we're going to go ahead and add garlic, a lot of garlic, maybe like a couple of bushels from the Gilroy Garlic Festival. Well, maybe not that much, but okay, just enough to where you can really smell it. Okay. You'd like to really have people next couple of days asking you, what have you been eating? What's that? Okay, so here we got some of this. And you just mix this together. This is all that we just put in here, the lemon juice, the olive oil. We're going to let this sit for about maybe half an hour. You can refrigerate it if you want to. I like to just let it sit at room temperature to let the spices all blend together and get nice and mixed up, and it's really good. And it's going to look beautiful on top of the brown crusted meat. Okay, the next dish that we're going to go ahead and cook is the pasta with olive oil and garlic. Now, I've already got some of the olive oil put in the pan here along with some of the garlic. We're going to go ahead and bring this back up to temperature. Now, what I like to do is you don't want to burn the garlic. You want to just kind of get it browned a little bit. There's really no need to overcook it. A nice way to do this is just to start on a low heat. Start on a low heat and bring it up gently. Bad thing if you burn the garlic, because if you burn the garlic, it can become bitter. The idea is the garlic flavor infused olive oil. When we mix it on top of the pasta, it's going to just be a really, really delicious treat. I hate to say it, but I am trained to kill with. Hey, so it looks like the guys who are here with us, you guys hanging with me okay? Yeah. Having a good time? Thanks, all right, thank you. So as I said, the pasta's done. It's been cooking for about 10 minutes in a little bit of salted water. And I just want to check this. It should be al dente after 10 minutes. I like slurping the pasta. That reminds me of Grandpa Calandro, because Grandpa Calandro used to eat the pasta with the sauce on it, and he would end up with like a big target around his mouth. Look at that target. I mean, just love to eat and talk, and it would be like one continuous slurp in all during the meal till the whole plate was gone. Okay. Okay. Get the pasta down. All right, that's good. So go ahead and drain the pasta. I really like these stackable colanders because it eliminates the need to have to walk over to the sink and potentially drop it or do any damage to you or the floor of your house. So I'm going to go ahead and put this pasta in the bowl. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, I also like to save the water from the pasta. And you might ask, Joe, why do you like to save the pasta? What are you going to do with the pasta water? Well, you can cook the pasta and let it sit there. And if somebody's coming over a little bit late, you can rehydrate the pasta. Just drop it back into the hot water that's already got the starch in it. You don't want to you don't want to rinse off the pasta. I used to do that a long time ago, and if you do that, you eliminate that starchy layer that's on the outside of the pasta, and the sugo doesn't stick really well to it. What we're going to be putting on top of this isn't going to stick really well, so it's a real advantageous thing to leave that unrinsed. Okay, now we've got the pasta sitting in here. We've also got the olive oil and the garlic, and it's just about the right style of being done. We're going to go ahead and dump that in there. It looks really good. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and add these breadcrumbs to it. This is about a quarter cup of these seasoned breadcrumbs. Then we're going to go ahead and mix this up. I like to just toss this around in here just to get it all mixed up and get it nice and coated. So we get the breadcrumbs and the olive oil and the garlic all over the place here. Not all over the kitchen, but all over themselves. And then to that, I'm going to go ahead and add some fresh parsley and a little bit of cheese. We're going to do a couple of tablespoons of cheese on there. This is the grated Parmesan cheese. And we'll throw in a third one there for Grandpa Calandro, because that was his favorite. And we're just going to go ahead and toss this together. It makes a really beautiful dish. Okay. And you can see how good that looks. That is just really delicious. It's no red sauce at all. Very easy, very simple to do. And let's go ahead and check the meat. Now, the meat we were cooking in the oven for about 10 minutes, total of about 5 minutes aside. Oh, that's perfect. Take a look at that. So you want to make absolutely sure that you don't burn it. If you do burn it, one thing you can do is just put the tomatoes on that side that's burned, just to cover it up. That's the double advantage of having the tomato, having some sauce on it, so you can at least cover it up. So that's what I like to do if any kitchen accidents like that happen. Okay, we're going to go ahead and plate some of this up, and we'll be right back, and I'll show you what this looks like when it's ready to serve. All right, welcome back, and we have an added guest here that just showed up. I don't know if that's a really black cat or if it's actually Grandpa Calandro come back to get some nice pasta con aglio e olio and his favorite bistecca mollica. You can see here it's all plated up. We've got the pasta con aglio e olio. It's very nice looking, and it accompanies the bistecca mollica with the sauce very, very well. Now I want to show you one other thing you can do here. When you've got this pasta, or we've got the butter and the garlic in here that we used to coat the bistecca mollica with, why waste it? Why let it just go to waste? That's not a good idea. Grandpa Calandro would have never let anything go to waste, right? I agree. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some bread. This is just some Italian pugliese bread, and just drop in here. Just get it coated on both sides with a little of the hot butter and the garlic, and in about 5 minutes you're going to have some of the best bread you've ever had. And it makes a really good idea to not throw this away. I can't stand throwing anything away that still has good use. You know, it's like you want to recycle this, recycle jokes, recycle oil, change your olive oil and butter at every 1,000 miles, I always say. I want to do this, enjoy cooking, enjoy my mom's recipes, and please go garlic. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you guys.